believe in seeded accounts. That's a rough one. I want to not because it feels like you're just basically saying that you believe in fate and that everything you do is already like predetermined and whatever you do it doesn't make a difference kind of thing. Or you could like you want to know what it is and see the pattern so you can manipulate it somehow. I don't know. It goes into some conspiracy shit, but then on the other hand, there was some conspiracy shit that we saw with like Nexon stuff, and then it ended up being true. Like with the flames, with the jump and the all stat together and everything. So I want to not because I don't want it to be correct, but if doing it actually is more correct than not, then by trying to pretend like it can't possibly be true, you can actually be more wrong. So. This guy's profile picture on Twitter is just a picture of Fat Ben Shapiro. No artist relation for YPO. He's Shakespeare PB draw. Oh, pitch boss. Oh, dude, PB is ping B, man. Just pitch drops in 1 month and other don't see one in 2 years of weekly runs. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty easily explained by the drop rate just being absolute garbage. Just the number is just really, 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 really low. And then if you let a lot of people run a lot of times, the chance that it clusters is more likely than than the chance that it perfectly um, distributes. Because if it were to perfectly distribute, then that would have been done artificially, and then wouldn't be RNG anymore. But I mean, like your point still stands. But it's a shit situation. But it was the exact same thing when Arcane stuff came out. I don't. I might be completely misremembering this, but the way I remember it, I was running Hard Loose and Hard Will for quite a while already and getting absolutely nothing. And then I think it was Audio on the Rainsong Guild started running and got and I feel like he got 2 or 3 drops like in the first month of him running when I had already been running for a year or something and hadn't gotten nothing. Now, when I look back, if I think back on it, those timelines don't think that they make a terrible amount of sense. But I remember feeling like I already put in so much effort, and someone else who just came in got a whole bunch when I got absolutely nothing, and it just felt horribly unfair. But it's also not like, not only is it not unfair in the sense that like he did something, he did something heinous, and then I got fucked over by it or something. Like he had no power over it either. He just did the thing and got the thing. But the other thing is also I can't be happy for someone who gets those things, because they didn't do anything more than me to deserve it. They actually did less than me to deserve it, but they did get it. And then they just got lucky and got it to a certain amount of Star Force that they also did nothing for except for just click the button and get lucky. Like it creates this system where I feel myself. I mean, I have to like fight the urge to like almost be like angry towards someone because of what they're getting. Like it's easy for me to not, because it's like, it's all RNG in the game, and then the game is basically distributing this stuff unfairly, and it's the game's fault ultimately, not the person. But I'm also not going to go to the point where I'm like really happy and ecstatic and over the moon for someone if they get a 22 star on a certain item, and also not for myself. Like I got the 22 star rings and everything, and that was cool, but I'm not going to derive a whole bunch of personal satisfaction out of having that now, because there was no skill involved there. Like I just showed up and got the drop, and I just clicked the button and the thing happened. There was no skill whatsoever involved. The skill was maybe in killing the boss, is like the strongest argument you can say, but it doesn't necessarily translate to the result of that it should. So we need some kind of pity systems, like, but those, I feel like those need to be built in immediately when stuff like that comes out. Not maybe years after, when all of the damage has already been done. People are hating the content, hating the game, hating each other, or hating the upgrade system that blows their stuff up for one person and doesn't for another. Like, it's just bad game. It's lazy and bad game design. And I'll tell you, it's probably not as bad and not as extreme in non-reboot, and that's what it was all designed for, right? The existence of trade. That the people who wanted to brute force and they did feel like they wanted it, they could just buy more pieces and then brute force it and get it. But reboot just doesn't play that way. But as always with everything, Nexon just doesn't give a fuck about reboot. Doesn't even know it exists, I think. Barely knows that it's there. Doesn't even know what the limitations are. And it's just like, it's just part of the game that you just have that some people will just get it and that other people will just not get it. Like I remember with Stormcaster gloves, no, not Stormcaster gloves, Sweetwater gloves back in the day. I had my third pair of Sweetwater gloves on my character, and at that point there was a person who later turned out to be a duper, so fuck them. Somehow still playing and liberating weapons, but okay. That was running, I think, for over 2 years every day, full voyages and CPQ, and just never saw a Sweetwater glove. And back in the day, Sweetwater glove was really good because you had to get a Tyrant glove, high Star Force, transpose it into the Sweetwater glove, and that was your best in slot. And it's just so unfair because, like, yeah, people can't be happy. Other people are rightfully unhappy. That frustration has to go somewhere, and then it becomes animosity. It becomes irritability, it becomes, lack of desire to play. What a prophecy, how you doing? It's not, it's all around bad situation. People in Lost Ark complain about the upgrade system a lot. Anything I heard is people are like, oh my god, upgrade system in Lost Ark is so much better because your items can't boom. Chance goes up a little bit if you fail, and after enough failures, it's 100% chance. It's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Well, we can like try to theory craft a little bit. What is a system that is not like, okay, you have to get X amount, and you can get X amount per day for free, or you can get it as a drop randomly, or both? What is a completely different system that could exist that would do a similar thing, where the limitation of getting something, because limitation has to exist ultimately, right? Because limitation gives value. There's no limit. A lot of people think like, oh, more is better. But if you got everything for free, then people would quit before you fucking know it. Like if everyone had all of the characters on their accounts all maxed out, that'd be cool for some people for like a week. And then they would be like, oh, I can log into any character and kill anything in like 2 seconds. And all the fun would immediately be gone. Because it would be immediately like, oh, when is new content coming out? Why can't I do new stuff? And that's going to take months and months and months to develop. And then people are just going to lose interest. Right? But then the other side, of course, the other side is like, grinding your ass off for years just to get a number to go up that doesn't really open you up to any new content that exists in the hope that new content will exist by the time you get there. Like, that's like the really shitty other side of that coin. So there's going to be something in between there. But what is a way to like limit access to something that isn't just a daily limit or like an RNG limit off that is like farmable? What would be like an extra third way that's just detached from those things that you can do it? Every boss drop should work like Abzo Arcanes, that you can like craft it. Yeah, but then you have a combination of those things, right? Like dailies and maybe a drop to configure. I mean, I've been saying that Lucid and Will should be dropping the coins to be able to buy the items from the shop. Especially if you don't get a drop, if you get a drop, you get no coins, and if you get no drop, you get coins. So that at least after an amount of weeks, you'll be able to just afford it from the shop. I've been saying that for years, but that shit's apparently never going to happen. Best thing they can do is a box where you can pick what you get. Maybe in 4 years they'll actually just, drop the actual coins. I got the name Sussy69 on my blaster. Nice. Back to work now. I haven't been able to catch streams. Is there any difference between Powerful Flames and Karma? Karma is only usable on untradeable. Yeah, Epic already said it, yeah. But everything in Reboot is considered untradeable, so for us to know, there's no difference. But again, where bosses would give different amounts of boss coins, and you could purchase boss items with them if you had no luck with drops. Yeah, I've had like prophecies. I have had like, now we have prophecy and prophecies. I said a similar thing before as well. I believe, doesn't TMS do something with those coins? But yeah, I had a similar idea that I think all bosses in the game should just drop a certain amount of coins. Like, let's say like Silent Crusade coins, for example, and that the Silent Crusade shop just has access to all of the items. Like, if you wanted to, you could do daily Zakum on a character for like 2 years, and then you could buy like an eye patch or something. And there might be like a max amount of coins you could get per week, but like all of the bosses that you do would drop like a certain amount, and the higher difficulty the more, and then you could just buy things from the shop, something like that. Okay, the second one is limited to use dailies or farming. Yeah. One thing I can think of, Pop-Up, is like what you would have to do is you would have to set a limit, but there would be almost an unlimited amount of things with a limit that the total becomes unlimited, Like, let's say that we have a limit of like you can get 1 coin if you kill 10 monsters, and you can get 10 coins if you kill 100 monsters, and then it just keeps going. But then eventually it goes to like 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million. So it's actually unlimited, but it becomes physically impossible to reach those numbers, right? And you can also use it as like a hacker check that if somebody actually reaches it, you just perma-ban them because they're probably fucking hacked. Nice. But I think one thing that you could do is to have integrated in-game rewards based on content you complete on outside sources. Like, imagine like 10 years from now, Riot has got like all of their games out, right? They've got like the MMOs like successful. They've got their fighting game title. They've got their card game. They've got the TFT. They've got the Rift. They've got like the Valorant. They've got some other shit. And basically every single game has like daily rewards in them, or just has rewards in them that you can reach maybe in like a season or something. And all of them is like, hey, you reached Masters in League. That means in the MMO at the end of the season, you get like this exclusive reward. And like in Valorant, you get this skin or something. Or you get like, I don't know, whatever the fuck the ranks in Valorant are. I've never played that shit game. That game. I don't mean to call it shit. I've never played it. It just looks unfinished. It looks like it's an alpha, sorry. You get like a certain rank there, and then in the fighting game you get like, you unlock a certain champion or like a certain fighter that you can fight for just 1 week or something, or like a skin for a special, whatever the fuck, right? Like the integration of like different games, I think could be pretty cool, and I think also a really good incentive if you own all of those games, that you don't necessarily have to make people feel. There's always the limit though. It's like, do you make someone feel bad for not getting it? Do you make someone feel happy for getting it? And like where like how do you stay in between those, right? That you don't make them feel bad if they don't get it, but that you still make everyone that wants to get it feel okay with getting it. You're never going to get everyone, right? Achievement rewards, kill a boss number of times to get the equip. Yeah, I thought that would be cool too, but they've said specifically that they didn't want any rewards, any impactful rewards based on achievements, and they wanted them just to be in name, basically, is what KMS has said. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. If you kill a certain, like if you kill Papalatus, like across your account 250 times, you should be able to just pick up a Papalatus mark on one of your characters. Because what will that do? That'll make people be like, oh, we can get some guaranteed. Oh, I'm just gonna make more characters do that boss daily. They'll do run on 20 characters, run for 3 months, boom, another character gets it, and it'll start scaling up. What happens when you're scaling up? You're playing more. You want the people to play your game more, right? And it's not like you're giving one pap mark every, with that amount. It's not. It's going to be like, okay, it's a lot of work. People still respect the drop because it's hard to get, and it's a lot of work to get. But you feel like there's more of a relevant reward for what you're doing, and it's not just every single run is just a Hail Mary, and everything is like, oh, wow, another time, nothing. Oh, another run, nothing. No, it's like, oh, we got nothing, but at least in 25 runs I got this. Or, oh, it's nothing, but at least in 50 runs I know I'll have this, And just to have that guarantee, even if it's really far away, I think is way better of a motivator than every single thing just being a one in a bajillion gamble that will most likely get you nothing. Yeah, Blizzard could have done it too. Yeah, maybe Microsoft can still do it though, Bob. Maybe.